Redfin reports are now out. We're seeing a growing demand for real estate in the country. Right? It has always been a thing, and at one point, people are like, okay, there's not enough homes being built. And landlords are like, we're asking crazy high prices. Because you're willing to pay for it. So we're finally seeing the rents are flattening out in September, and this is for the first time in a long time. And right now, certain areas in the US, even the Midwest, are actually seeing rates going up and apartment supply is going up with prices dropping like a rock. This is not a fun time to be a landlord. I mean, if you're a landlord trying to house outs and you're going to be facing a lot of competition, you're probably going to be lowering some of those rent prices. And a lot of these new landlords, people who bought into Airbnb, people who got, like, a crazy loan, like, 5% down, and bought, like, 5 different houses. These are going to be the guys that will be going bust very soon. Especially we could be seeing another massive interest rate hike. So the party is just getting started for the bears. So rental markets, it's flattening out. Right? A lot of landlords right now are going broke. Landlords are actually pretty scared, and you do see the Redfin reports that many landlords and big apartment complexes, especially in America's biggest cities, for example, San Francisco, New York City, Tampa, Seattle, Austin, are all getting lower rents. And one of the reasons why is just so much building. Right? People are building these apartments like crazy. And I said this in, like, several videos ago when I used to talk about real estate that, hey, houses, townhouses, and apartments, we're going to be seeing 1 to 2 million new units in the upcoming 2 to 3 years. And several 1,000 of those units have already come on the market. And this is adding in a lot of pressure, especially for the new guys who spent like 1% down, 5% down, or even 10% down, on, like, 5 different houses or apartments. These are guys seeing old crap. We kinda over-leverage, and this is what's going on. I mean, even Zillow offers you, like, a 1% down payment, which is absolutely nutty. And check this out. 59% of recent homebuyers are saying that purchasing a home is more stressful than dating. I mean, at least dating is somewhat fun sometimes, but buying a home, especially with property taxes all the way up. You're also seeing home insurance being super duper expensive. It's just not a great market at all. And this is a really funny statistic, but also very terrifying statistic, because many of the homeowners that say stressful are the ones that are probably skipping meals just to pay for their mortgage. Right? We actually saw a survey of, like, a third of Americans actually skipped dinner or lunch just to pay them workers. It's actually pretty insane. You got people living paycheck to paycheck just for the mortgage. You gotta also have a lot of unfixed mortgages out there and loans. And guess what? Interest rates are going up. Ray Dalio is saying that another interest rate hike for November and also December is very well in the making. I mean, you can't really be sure that there won't be interest rate hike. Some people are saying that the economy is slowing down and inflation may be going down. I mean, yes, I do kinda agree, but guess what? You know, economy's still pretty hot. The recent job and employment rates are really good. You know, 3.8% unemployment isn't good enough. They gotta get that to 5.0. Once they get to 5.0, then it's time to perhaps lower rates. And plus, we're probably gonna be seeing high rates for the rest of this year and also next year all the way to September, which is kinda like what everyone's saying. So that's very stressful. That's very crazy. And now we also have the Jamie Dimon, you know, CEO of Chase. This guy is massive. And if you guys want somebody to talk about interest rates or somebody to talk about real estate, this is the man to go to. Jamie Dimon usually doesn't make appearances, and his status as Chase's long-term CEO, well, he's not going to be telling you guys a lot of BS. Right? He's going to tell it straight up, a stark warning on Monday that he thinks the rates will be going up perhaps to 7% and even above it. Right? The current ranges are about 5.25 to 5.55. Dimon told Bloomberg TV that central banks will probably continue to rate hiking rates by another 1.5%. Not really that big a surprise, all the way to 7%. So next year, we could be seeing 2 massive hikes or 4 smaller hikes adding up to 7%. You know what happens when hits 7%. We're going to be getting a lot of businesses closing down. Even some of the bigger companies going down and super big companies make a caps are how gonna have some due to earnings. 7% interest rates for the next few months is probably gonna cause another 1 to 3% increase in unemployment. So if you're a new Leaf College grad or if you're in the military college, well, hate to tell you this, but you're probably not gonna be getting a job anytime soon. I mean, hopefully, you do, but it doesn't really look that great, especially unemployment recently ticked from 3.4, 3.5 to 383.9. So you kinda get the idea it's getting worse. And housing mortgage rates is what we're gonna be looking at. Mortgage rates are climbed to 7.9%, hurting home sales. This is actually one of the highest that we've ever seen, and we're gonna be seeing this go even higher. If you just go to Zillow and go to some biggest cities, like, for example, San Francisco, nobody's buying a home. Okay. Many of these homes are on the market for a very long time. Now homes in the Midwest example. If you go to, like, Cincinnati, which is another very hot destination, a lot of these Midwestern homes priced at under $700K, these still have these demand, like, we're not really going to be seeing, like, these suburban homes going down in price. Like, for example, let's just pick a townhouse. Like, this townhouse here. Right? $559,000, good neighborhood. This is a fantastic little location. That's pretty nice. Right? You got man-made lakes. Like, locations like these typically don't go down in price that much. I mean, I don't have a $1 million super expensive, but in the housing world, it's really not that bad. Right? You could also get, like, single-family homes like these. Like, this one, for example, $600, 45,100 square feet. Like, how's it like these? Yes. So go down in value, but maybe just a few percentage points. Not really that much. But we're talking about, like, big cities, like New York City's, big expensive condos. You also have Miami condos, Seattle houses. These are going to be the locations where housing prices are going down a lot. And guess what? You also have, like, the massive Airbnb bubble. What's going on with the Airbnb situation? People really over-leveraged like crazy. I mean, during the pandemic at 0% rates, you see people, like, getting loans for, like, 5% down, and they bought, like, 7 different houses to rent out as Airbnb. Yeah. Those guys are pretty toast. Even on Super Bowl weekend, only half the homes at location actually get rented out. And it's only gonna get worse and worse by the day. And many of these units, even in Seattle, like, these condos are not selling. Like, I remember, like, condos like these did not go for just $800,000. Condos like these at the peak was, like, $1.11. $2 million easy. But now these condos really are getting cheaper and cheaper. I mean, I can't believe you can actually find something worth $375,000 the middle of Seattle. I mean, though this is a pretty small unit, it looks pretty good. But for $375 in Seattle, that's a pretty good deal. You're not going to be getting deals better than this, but same time, yeah, they're good deals. But unless you're paying in cash, you're going to be paying a pretty crazy high mortgage. And also, we're finally seeing construction companies wrapping up several of the biggest projects. And many of these projects are not really bearing fruit. We're seeing massive liquidation sales, fire sales, it's only going to get worse. A lot of scary stuff having a housing market, and I don't really recommend you guys to go into market just yet. I mean, maybe at least wait till next year when prices go down because rents are going down for once. Right? When rents are going down, Airbnb units are going bust. You're going to be seeing even more foreclosures considering how much overleveraging people did in the past few years. Thanks so much, guys. Like, comment, subscribe for more. In the real estate situation is just getting started. We might seeing some of the craziest real estate prices in the upcoming few months.